Well, here we are, everybody, returning to Ateez, and we are starting off with a bona fide B-side here. I know it is when we got the color-coded, the color-coded version, I should say. But, in any case, it's always a good time. It actually lets me be able to focus a lot more on the music and don't have to pick out all the small little details. I can just enjoy the voices for what it is. So, let's check it out, shall we? Before we start, of course, if you want to take control of the next 1 week club for the month of March, there's still time. There is 4 groups that can be decided. It's about 4 posts down on the community post, and that is going to be either VIX, Extraordinary Heroes, FT Island, or WJSN. And we got just a couple days left. We have until Monday before it is decided. And if you want to see one of those groups, go make sure you vote. Anyway, my name is Aaron, and if you're new here, I try to help you love the music that you already like. So, anyway, let's check it out, shall we? Start out strong.
Let's go to the top, we get there. Let's go to the top, we get there. 빠르듯이 부구 매가 불어온다 세계가 공통 도가스 Toss domino 마주와는
Ooh.
세마루 센터 Let's go to the top, we get there. 구슈가 겐지 스카라멜로 소모 캐로톡 유가다 코코로가 진짓을 내지 말게로 톡 코레이조와 너무 굿북 난 대신 I 이마담에 오사마세 Everybody go up 이 바람 미치 히로가 테이타테 옆에 가까게 Let's go up 모토메라 내 나이 준비開始 when you 옆에 가까게 Let's go up
Wow.
Let's get up Let's go up Let's get up Let's go up 옆에 가까게 Let's go up
That's sick.
I never go back. Oh, 강한 나 say yeah yeah. I never go back. 나만의 놈만 yeah yeah yeah. Set me free. I'm just chasing freedom. Never not afraid. No fear, no sympathy. It's a kite that means better killing them. 이 바람 미치 히로가 테이타테 옆에 가까게 Let's go up. 모토메라 내 나이 We don't stop. Make it move. 옆에 가까게 Let's go up. Let's get up.
You know, I'm kind of digging this.
Let's get up. Let's go up. 옆에 가까게 Let's go up. 세계 주가 목라우 하바데 뭐 이름과 괜히와 이카나이 I'll never lose it again. Never gonna give up again. 하지만 이렇게 내놓네요. 못 더 힘이 가세. 부끄럽게 생각해. 믿고 신세가에. 옆에 가까게 Let's go up.
I love that. That's such an interesting phrase.
Let's get up. Let's go up. 옆에 가까게 Let's go up. Let's get up. Let's go up. 옆에 가까게 Let's go up.
Wow. That's actually crazy. No, I'm not going to. Okay, let's talk about the part that I think is actually, very interesting here.
믿고 신세가에. 옆에 가까게 Let's go up.
Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
옆에 가까게 Let's go up.
That's really interesting. Ah, it's kind of hard to grasp. It's very dramatic, that is for sure. Huh. I really appreciate that fact. Like, this is something I just really, really love. That when it comes to like music phrasing, this is one of those things that I feel like really sets them apart. They're very atypical. And I think that's really kind of cool. This phrasing is just not very common. It's just such a nice little thing because it bounces around. It shows this dramaticism, but there's like a little bit of that precise feel that I really like in that. You know, there's a lot of preciseness. I absolutely just love that feeling. Aside from that, this kind of does bring back a little bit more of that dramatic feel. I really like the fact that, like, when I'm listening to this, you can kind of see what the idea is. And in a lot of senses, this kind of reminds me of Answer in the sense that, like, it's not the most intense. However, what it does have is where it counts. And that's the dramaticism that I think has really been working for these kinds of songs. Very, very solid. And this is one of those songs that, like, when you listen to it, everybody had a pretty solid part. I think that that's what's so interesting with some of these B-sides is that it feels like they're a little bit more friendly towards all the members, if that makes sense. It just has that nice striking of balances. Everything is just so. And this is one of those songs, if you don't mind, that if you have headphones on, there's a lot of detail going on. Who would have thought that the people that wrote music for Ateez went above and beyond? It's not like we didn't learn about that in the guide. What? No way. Like right there, listen to that. You kind of just got like this, like throughout the whole thing, it's just like this boom, like that. But then like you had the typical trap beat, which I could take it or leave it if I'm being honest. However, the thing that's really cool is that right there you get these strings that come in. I'm just chasing freedom, never not afraid. No fear, no sympathy. It's a kite that means better killing them. And even like the drop that they have there is kind of unusual. Sympathy, it's a kite that means better killing them. Deep, and it has this like sending throw feel to it. I actually really like this song. I think this song is actually really cool. Oh no, this is going to be one that I'm going to go back and revisit a lot off channel. So, oh boy. Anyway, should we move on? I think we should move on. Next, we are moving on to, and last but not least, ending the day off with Fireworks, I Am the One. So, I found the music video. Let's check it out, shall we? I'm the one in my zone. 다른 애들은 빼앗. 초취한 바보들 좀 봐. 이건 무슨 일이야? 그럴 필요 없어, 난 it's okay. I'm sorry, 가슴만 더 뜨겁게. 지워버리지 널 부드럽게. Okay. caught an actual Humvee.
주치한 바보들 좀 봐. 이건 무슨 일이야? 모두 잘못 보고 있어. Oh no. 마치 그게 진짜 멋이라고. 우린 필요가 없어. Oh no. Oh, oh. 너도 갖고 있잖아. 너만의 뜨거움을. 여기 불이야 저기 불이야 온 동네 천지가 붉게 춤추네. 여기 붙어라 저기 붙어라 온 동네 천지가 불이 붙을 때. Yeah 두루두루 뭐 여기도 make a fire like on my tail. Yeah yeah 시작 showtime and so. 지금 우리 마치 불놀이야 불놀이야. 말리지 마 말리지 마. 웃지 마 세상 마지막인 듯. Pop it away pop it away. 여기 지금 터져버릴 것 같은.
Oh, this is good.
알고 있잖아 지금 너 네가 느끼고 있는 이 떨림을. 내 옆으로 와네 자리로 와. 우린 뜨겁게 위해서 어떤 것도 필요 없어. 날아버려 높이 타올라라 번쩍 Burn it up fire bomb. 지금 우린 마치 불놀이야 불놀이야. 말리지 마 말리지 마. 웃지 마 세상 마지막인 듯. Pop it away pop it away. 여기 지금 터져버릴 것 같은. All I think about it. All I through that through that. All I feel about it. 불놀이야 불놀이야.
Wow. Holy cow. The music video was insane. Ooh, the masked man. Okay, this is pretty cool. This feels somewhat like in the same vein as like some of their more intense songs like Answer or you know, those kinds of songs. However, I feel like that this one has like a little extra melody to it.
웃지 마 세상 마지막인 듯. Pop it away pop it away. 여기 지금 터져버릴 것 같은. All I think about it.
Like it still has that same intensity, but there's just like a almost like a growth with their songwriting where it's like they took all the stuff that was really good about the intense stuff, but then they like injected like all the good stuff that comes from like their slower, less intense songs that I think end up usually having a little bit more melody, but put it in this. It just kind of feels like this is almost like a culmination of everything that we've learned thus far in a lot of senses. You know, I think the interesting thing is, if I'm going to be kind of like real and candid for a second, I find this interesting. Mainly because I feel like that whenever we have a song that's a little bit more on the intense side, and I actually believe this is part of the storytelling, and this is intentional, that a lot of times when we do these particular songs, the choreography is similar to itself. Now, again, I don't even think that's a bad thing, but I think that it's an actual storyline, like through line, that they're using to discuss what is going on within the story. Now, you know, we might need to come back through and do another week of Ateez and do nothing but storyline. I've actually been kind of thinking about that with a few groups as well. But this to me kind of feels like that. Like this to me feels like that the choreography is built in to kind of help keep a through line throughout all the story. As weird as that sounds, because I know that a lot of people might not, you know, I think that as like a teeny and, you know, I think that, you know, there has to be a through line. I think there might be a group of people who may not be into Ateez that would probably miss that, is kind of what I'm trying to say. But the choreography to me does feel very on par with a lot of the other ones. And again, I think it's kind of part of the storyline. That's just a really interesting way to do the storyline telling too. Like you got the intensity, it goes into the soft, and then it goes into the rap line, or at least like the rap solo, whatever the rap part. And I find it interesting for the identity that a lot of these songs carry through. So I actually really, really like the song though. This could do that. I'm expecting a much softer, maybe more emotional song, if I'm being real. I could see this being kind of more like a fan song or maybe even like a ballad. That's gonna be my guess. That's gonna be my guess for sure.
Yeah. Okay, fix on. 떨리는 순간 꿈들을 쟁취해 느낄 수 있다면 손을 뻗으신 건 나는 가능해 가슴에 떨림을 품고 더 가늠해 설렘을 가득 안고 Wiggle it up 누군가에게 느낄 수 없는 누군가에게 폭풍 같은 거 우리 만들 수 있어 something new 거절을 let the wind blow We don't wanna fall down We don't wanna lose our mind 멈추지 않을 그곳에 어떻게 날았는지 부서질 듯 크게 움직여 yeah. Dancing like butterfly wings
This is so cool.
Dancing like butterfly wings 모든 걸 가로질러 닿을 때까지 날 알아 나를 구름 위로 검지손가락 가리킨 것 같이 fly high 아직 날개짓이 좀 어색해서 투런 비행 감각 오른쪽 right 더 위로 왼쪽 left 더 위로 어렵게 얻은 날개니까 더 비상해 저 위로 yeah. We don't wanna fall down We don't wanna lose our mind 멈추지 않을 그곳에 닿기 전에 떨리던 손을 기억해 yeah. 어떻게 날았는지 부서질 듯 크게 움직여 yeah. Dancing like butterfly wings
This is really cool.
Dancing like butterfly wings yeah, yeah. 모든 걸 가로질러 닿을 때까지 제가 오랜만에 배 춤춰 어느 백은 stage 노래도 답답한 내 끝에 어떻게 닿을지 몰라 fly high I just want you to know Dancing like butterfly wings
Jesus.
그곳에서 우린 널 기다리고 있어
Wow. That's really cool. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably not gonna have a ton to say, like kind of like the other songs, but there's a couple things here. First and foremost, I personally feel like that this song definitely more on the happy vibes. This is really cool. This is definitely one for the fans. I have to admit, I am very impressed with Ateez here because I feel like if this would have been just about any other K-pop group, like if this is like say, well, I'm not gonna name any names, but I'll just say that there's probably a couple that all of us are probably thinking about, that this would not fly. They would probably just immediately get mugged, and not mugged, not mugged, mugged. So kudos to showing the restraint. That's actually really cool. Happy-go-lucky song. Obviously, this is just kind of meant to be a fun, very light piece. This is written in G major, and the thing that I find actually really interesting kind of about this whole setting is that we had the first two songs. We had the Keen, then we had Fireworks, then we had this. And one thing that I always talk about when it comes to music writing is that there's like a release of tension. The first two songs were a lot more intense, so this, you could say, technically speaking, is the tension release from the intense music that we had actually earlier. So I think that this is actually a really cool way to end the day, you know? Very cool indeed. I appreciate this a lot. Honestly, this is fun. This is a fun song. I don't think there's really much that I could really say or complain or even like point out. This is one of those songs that you just kind of let it be. You let it vibe. You just make sure that, you know, you enjoy it. Expect, you know, it's what you kind of expect from a song like this. You don't need a harsh, you know, no one's mellow over this. I think that's fair. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. And I'm going to be catching up on comments here very soon too. So thank you and goodbye.